is good? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about the set today, the Gladiator set, and why I think, you know what, 2K, you showed us something. You've showed us your commitment to not changing the way you do things and your approach. And guess what? I'm not changing my approach on not spending money on this game. I'm not changing that. Everything I do on this game until 2K changes the all gambling content is going to be me not spending money on this game, and I'm committed to it. Now within that, if you are somebody like me and you like playing the game, you probably have, I don't know, 1 million, 2 million MT. If you like playing the game a lot and have not been spending on these recent drops, I'm going to be talking about how I like this set compared to other sets and a little bit expanding that a little bit. Now, what do I mean by this set? When I go in here to the player market, I see this set. Now, MT-wise, it costs you about, what, 500 and some odd thousand MT, 249,000 BC. With that, you are guaranteed a good player. You're guaranteed a good player. I don't love Michael Jordan. I don't love Patrick Ewing, but you are guaranteed a good player. I do think Bol Bol is by far the best player, but even Devin Booker is really good. So how would I approach this set today? How? What are the steps I would take? Well, if you want to, you can buy the players outright and lock in for a dark matter for 555,000 MT. Within that, you get a solid Sabonis, you get a solid Peyton Watson. If you want to test your luck to pull the dark matter, you could open, I don't know, a 10 box, 20 box. See if you can pull some of the cards that go in for it. Like if you pull Sabonis, Scoot, or JJ Redick, basically getting your MT back on that. And you have a chance to pull a dark matter. And then after the 10 box, then you go lock in for the set. But I am a bigger fan, and one thing I'd recommend is if you do have, let's say, 2 million MT, you could spend 500,000 MT on this set today because you are guaranteed a really good dark matter. You're guaranteed a good dark matter, and if we look at the sets recently, Vortex set, I'm going to be honest, Vince Carter, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not the biggest fan of like Ricky Davis, even Markey, I'm not the biggest fan of. A lot of those cards are okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of. Eclipse, Derrick Rose, not great. You look at even Sean Kemp, mid, not good. Go back to last season. Nebula set. I mean, Bradley Beal, Pascal Siakam, those are the cards you could have been pulling. I mean, Danny Ferry, or maybe it was like Melo or Adam Morrison. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it was a Galaxy Opal. But they were not worth it or not really good. Like, at least if you lock this set in, you are guaranteed a good card. Now, something I'd be a little worried about. For me, since I did get lucky in my pack opening, I got Bol Bol, okay? So one thing I would say with that is, if you pull a dark matter, don't be scared to not lock in the set. Because the one thing I'm worried about is I got Bol Bol. That's the card I've wanted the most. What happens if I lock in that set and then get another Bol Bol? Then I'm going to have to quick sell him, and I'm just not the biggest fan of doing that. So within that, don't be scared of, if you do happen to open a couple of packs and try to get some of the cards towards the set, don't be scared of selling these cards back. Because for me right now, these cards might not seem like they're worth a lot, but I've got basically 150,000 MT already in my collection that I can sell back. And I'd have to spend 150 more. So then you're looking at 300,000 MT to lock in for a dark matter. And I could get another Bol Bol, or I could get a card I'm not the biggest fan of. So like a Patrick Ewing. If I pull Patrick Ewing, I don't even know where he plays in my squad either. So just something to be a little bit concerned about. But I do like this set. I don't think there's a bad card. I mentioned Patrick Ewing. I still think Patrick Ewing's a top big man in the entire game. So again, I feel like I'm not one to want this to sustain, but 2K has shown their true colors, and I'm not going to spend money on the rest of the game. I'm committed to grinding enough to open packs every week to hopefully at least get one or two of the dark matters, and then just go from there and just riding this thing out. It is sad that it's got to be like this, but it's the way it is. But for you guys, if you do have a lot of MT, I don't like spending money on this, but 555,000 MT on a player that can definitely help your squad out is not that bad. If we look at the past sets, I mean, if you go back to Season 4, you were spending, I don't know, 800, 900K on a set to lock in. And again, those lock-ins, you were guaranteed a specific card. But remember, you're guaranteed a dark matter player card or higher and most of these cards are really good. I would have been fine if I lock it in and get Devin Booker, Luol Deng, MJ, Jayson Tatum. I'm fine with all of those cards. Only card I really don't want is Patrick Ewing. But even Patrick Ewing, I'm telling you, is really, really solid in my team. So that's just something to look at for you guys, because I do know a lot of you guys are probably like, Ty, should I lock in this set? I haven't been locking in the set. Where should I go? That is something I do recommend. So that's just kind of my recommendation for you. Let's say you have a million MT, or not even a million, 2 million MT of 1.5. I'd open a 10 box. That's what I would do first. Open a 10 box, see if you can pull a couple of the cards. Because let's say you do pull, I don't know, JJ Redick and Derrick Lively. Well, you're basically already getting your MT back on it. Then you can lock in the rest of the set. Plus, you have a chance to pull a dark matter out of that 10 box directly. And then I'd lock in the set. The tough part is, what happens if you do pull a dark matter like me? Do you want to lock in the set or not? That's really where things get a little bit dicey. Another thing you can do, what I would recommend doing, grind out this Gladiator spotlights. Because even for me, I'll grind out the Gladiator spotlights. That's what I'm probably going to do after a couple of videos. And for me personally, I grind it out. If I pull James Jones or JJ Redick, I'm going to be more inclined to locking in the set, because those are the cards I need the most. Or even for you guys, say you open a 10 box, you pull Sabonis, Derrick Lively. Then out of your deluxe pack, you pull James Jones. Well, then you're down to only needing 3 cards to lock in the set. And that is super, super helpful. So just a couple of things to think about with this set today is, number one, there's no bad dark matters. It is sad that you can't get the dark matter you want. I wish it was an option pack. And honestly, I think if this was an option pack, I would have way less issues with the game in general. Because most people probably would choose Bol Bol, but some people might choose MJ. Some people might choose Devin Booker. If it was an option pack, I'd have a lot less issues with the way 2K is doing things. But today, this drop is the first drop that there's no bad dark matters. And number two, this cards in the set, Sabonis is good. Peyton Watson is good. These are good cards that can definitely help your squad out. So again, I'm not the biggest fan of where my team is at right now and how to go about doing things, but it is what it is. It's the game we have. What do you do with it? How do you guys have fun with playing the game? And I do think locking in the set is not the worst option. I'm eager to hear your guys' thoughts on this down below in the comments. Again, I'm not one that loves what's going on, but there is a right approach to take on this thing. And for me, I don't like locking in sets. So for me, at the end of this thing, I don't know if I'm going to lock it in. If I don't lock it in, well, guess what? I'm going to sell all of these cards back. And basically, I spent 500,000 MT on Bol Bol. Like, it is what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of doing that, but it is what it is. I had some decent pack luck, and that's where we're at. So, I mean, that is just kind of what to do, what to know. But at the end of the day, if you have to lock in 500,000 MT for a dark matter, it's not the worst thing either. I'm just being honest with you. It's really not. Because at the end of the day, at least you're knowing, at least you know you're going to play dark matter. That is really, really, really solid. Again, there's no bad dark matters today. Are there ones you probably prefer? Absolutely. I'm just lucky I got the one I wanted, but hopefully you guys can as well. That's going to wrap it up. Hopefully it helps you guys out. Grind the Spotlight Challenge first foremost. Grind the agendas. Get a free deluxe pack. Then go from there. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.